All right. And this is my time. A very good morning. I am very glad to be the first person to serve you your first coffee of the day. Today we will be going on a journey from cupping bowls to the cup that I will be serving you today. In front of me is this bench full of cupping bowls from which I am going to pick the coffee that I will be serving you. I grab my cupping spoon and I go to every single cup in front of me and I start tasting. However, I can't just find the one that I really want to serve. Nothing is aligning with the goals of this competition season. So one trick up my sleeve is that I blend. So I went back with my cupping spoon and an empty cup, and then I went to each coffee and I tried two together at every pair until I finish all the combinations. And guess what? I did find the coffee that I love and I want to share it with you today. The two coffees come from the same origin. They both come from Panama, from Finca Debra, led by the world accoladed producer, Jamison Savage. One coffee gave me that bright jasmine note, and the other coffee gave me that sweet mandarin-like flavor note. When combined, they just transform to become a mix of two homogeneous colors. We get that orange and that bright pink red color. The first coffee is a washed geisha, and the second coffee is a natural geisha. Both have been processed in a very traditional fashion with a bit of care put into it in a controlled environment. So the next hurdle was to find a way to recreate that same experience that I had in the cupping bowl for you in a cup. So I needed to find a way to prepare 3 consistent coffees for you. So I have come up with a method that I will be describing. I will start my brewing, and as I brew, I'll tell you the method and the steps, and I'll tell you why they work. So without further ado, let's get into it. So in front of me are those 3 brewers, and I have both of my components separated, right? I am going to grab my washed component, and I'm going to put it at the bottom of my brewer. I'm gonna level it, and then I'm gonna grab my natural component, and I am going to be putting it on top, giving it one final level. I'm gonna repeat this again, using 9 grams of the washed component, and using another 9 grams of the natural component of my coffee. My total amount of coffee is going to be 18 grams of coffee. I will be using an amount of 280 grams of water, which is just above 1:15 ratio. That extra 10 grams that creates that dilution to expose all of those flavors in my coffee. Now, I'm going to be starting my brewing, and I want you to look at how the brew is going. So, I will be using 70 grams across 4 pours for that total amount of water, so 74 pours. My first 3 will be at 93, and my last pour is 89. That very last pour is also there to provide dilution and not necessarily extraction, which is already done at the first stages. So, I will start my timer, and I will go with the first 10 grams in the middle of my brewer, after which I will start moving my way out towards the perimeter of my brewer until I reach my desired amount of 70 grams. As you know, I have decided to go towards stacking rather than going towards mixing 2 coffees together. The reason is consistency again. I need to be able to control how each component is being extracted. And so if I just decide to mix both coffees together in a random fashion, this means I cannot have any control over how that extraction is happening. So I decide to stack. I decide that 1 coffee goes at the bottom, and then 1 coffee goes on top. And since I am moving my pouring towards the side, means that I'm extracting 1 layer in a different fashion to the layer at the bottom. The layer at the top is the layer that's receiving the hot water first. It is the layer that is getting more agitation because it's the layer that's on which I'm pouring the most, right? And because I move towards the sides, this water is not penetrating towards the layer at the bottom. In terms of force, what is happening is water goes through the first layer, hits my wall of my brewer, and then goes back up. But that first 10 grams that I pour in the center is enough to create enough saturation to extract my coffee that is at the bottom. Now, I decided to go with a 50-50 split because both of my coffees have a very similar intensity. And this is what I also found when I was cupping. I grabbed 1 spoon of my natural component and I grabbed 1 spoon of my washed component. And so I simply recreated that same 50-50 split in my brewer. Now I've got my 89 degrees water, which is here for dilution. I pour again 10 grams in the middle before moving to pouring only on the side, agitating the coffee at the top, and the coffee at the bottom is maintained as an immersion style of extraction. 10 grams in the middle, and then moving to the sides. Today I've decided to use the plastic origami. The reason being, plastic retains enough of that temperature, and so I make sure that the layer on top and the layer at the bottom are both getting an equal amount of relative energy to make sure that both layers are extracted well. This coffee was roasted 11 days ago. However, they were both roasted to different development percentages. My washed was only roasted to a development of 10%, maintaining that florality and that brightness. Whereas the natural component, I push it an extra percent. So I go to 11%. That 1% extra of caramelization brings more sweetness to my coffee, which is what I exactly want. Now, judges, as these drain, I want you to please write down the aroma notes for this coffee. Up front, you will be getting a pink note of floral hibiscus. That will also be accompanied with a stone fruit note of yellow peach with a hint of sweet mandarin. I ask you to hold on tight until I take off my carafes. What I will be doing is I will be giving you the carafe. Please swirl 3 times before every assessment and assess 3 times. So I'll give you the carafe, swirl 3 times, up close to the nose, really getting in all of that hibiscus, and then doing it 3 times. So I'll give it the first swirl for you. Please assess for me. This is also for you. Please enjoy that aroma. And Claire, this is yours as well. Please enjoy. I will be back very soon. I will be waiting for you. As soon as you're ready, can I take the carafes back, please? May I? Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed that aroma. Sorry about that. Just leave that a white. Thank you very much. So judges, I want you to now please write down the rest of your tasting experience today. For flavor, you will be getting hibiscus. You will also be getting a sweet yellow peach fruit note. And those flavors that I've just said for you are for your hot and warm. When it cools down, that peach becomes a bit more vibrant and it's leaning towards that sweet mandarin, while maintaining a hibiscus note also when it cools down. Let's move on to the aftertaste. You will be getting, when hot, warm, and cold, you will be getting an aftertaste of sweet mandarin and hibiscus. And then we move on to acidity. When hot and warm, it is citric, like that of mandarin. And when it cools down, it is berry-like, malic acidity of all stages, medium intensity. I will give you your cups. Please hold on to drinking until I call time. Let's move on to the mouthfeel. When hot and warm, it is coating, and when it is cold, it is silky, with medium weight for all stages. Finally, for sweetness, my favorite part. When hot, warm, and cold, it is medium sweetness, and it's like that of Mandarin. Judges, this was my time.
Woo! Mohamad Ali from ONA Coffee. Well done. How are you feeling?
Good, good, good. Whew.
Can breathe now.
Yeah, a mountain off my back for sure. Yeah.
Is there a reason why you picked this coffee particularly?
So I really wanted to prepare a coffee that presents terroir, presents original varietal, and has unaltered processing. I really wanted their first coffee of the day be a coffee of an elegant experience, a coffee that I'm sure they'll be remembering for the rest of the day. I also wanted to pair that with a method that is objectively consistent. I hope that I have prepared it in front of them in a way that they found it easy to digest, and I hope that even the people who are watching us today get a chance to try this for themselves. So yeah, as I was saying, that I would love for everyone to even give that a chance. I found very enjoyable experiences brewing the coffee in this way. It just breaks new dimensions, really. So yeah.
Is it your first time competing in Brewers?
Oh, this is my second time actually. Yes.
How does it feel? Like, is it more comfortable?
It feels more comfortable. It is something I keep looking forward every year since day one, and yeah, I'm glad to be back again this year.
Fantastic. Is there anyone behind the team that you would like to thank you?
We'll stay till the end of the day if I'm to thank person by person. Everyone knows themselves and everyone knows how much they have input into what I did today. Firstly, I want to thank God for giving me the opportunity to do what I do today. We've just finished the holy month of Ramadan, and as we are in Eid times now, so it couldn't be any more blissful time to share this experience. Of course, support of my parents, and more importantly as well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Please enjoy it. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm paying my parents, the team at ONA, everyone from Sasha himself to Bora to Jason to Anthony to Dow, to everyone that works with us at ONA Coffee. And finally, can't go without saying thank you to the Spro Bros and the Filter Fellas. Those are the two communities that I gladly belong to. We have one of the fellas here, Mr. Tariq, as well, watching us today. So a big thank you to everyone. And yeah, and
Awesome.
that's it.
Yeah. Is there any stay coffee that you can share with us with the public? Brew us it up if you have any.
So the sad news is not exact coffee that I've used on the stage. However, I do have the other plant coffee that is just equally as good as well. As I said, this method is versatile. So
you'll be sharing us that
we're
awesome.
very soon, yes.
Fantastic. Looking forward to that. Thank you so much again.
Thank you.
Mohamad.
Thanks
Appreciate
for
it.
appreciate it.